Hello, Capybara Crew. Welcome back to the casa. My name's Mandy Lee, and welcome back to another part of Casey Noir and the Carved Pumpkins Latte. I had a lot of fun playing this, and wanted to revisit it. I got a headache, and we kind of stopped a little bit early. It's a free game, so we could, in fact, play this entire thing. I don't know if we will, but I did want to revisit it at least one more time. So, chapter select. Okay. Okay, hold on. This is where we already were. Load. No. Load. You will lose unsafe progress. Yes. Okay, so here's where we were. We had just kind of talked to everyone. I don't think there's anything else left to do here. Yeah, we were moving on to our next place. And we are talking to Inheritor of the Lost Glory again. Let me turn this up so I can hear it. So, what do you think of it all? Halloween, I mean. Why does it sound like you expect me to not be familiar with it? Oh, my apologies. I'm not particularly informed about the inner workings of minds such as yours. Such as mine? Do you mean a ghost? Up until tonight, your existence was no more than rumors to me. Of course it was. It's unlikely for a person to meet more than one shade in their lifespan. How so? Beats me. All I know is it's very rare for the lives of two shades to intersect, even when it comes to those we meet. And I think Bones is also a shade, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering appropriately. Go ahead. Horror's having all kinds of fun switching between sitting in my chair with me, where he definitely is not too big, and the chair next to me. So you might hear some squeaks. Is the part about what happens to one's past after they become a shade true? Judging from my experience, I would say so. I can't remember anything before it, and no one can remember me. Not even any physical evidence of me ever existing before then. Then how do you know you even had a past? It's the emptiness. What? Well, it's gone. There are still traces of something existing in place. An empty line from registries, photos where a person interacts with someone we can't see, a person's own house indicating that they weren't living there alone. Is it traumatic? Not really, just unpleasant. It's hard not to wonder what my life was like before all this, but the world keeps on moving, and so am I. I can't spend too much time on empty reminiscence when those I care about slowly die with each second I do so. Well, aren't you theatrical? You're one to talk. Oh, well then. Wouldn't want to spend a little bit of my slowly passing days with a dance. Getting straight to the point. Oh, believe me, there's nothing straight about it. This is a very... Excuse me? No. Hey! No. Why are you barking? Excuse me a moment. My goodness, I was trying to say it's a very LGBTQ plus friendly game. People seem to be non-binary, queer. It's I don't know. I like it. I think it's exciting. I think it's nice to see that kind of representation. Everybody's also very physically nondescript. Like anyone could be a man or a woman. I guess not anyone, but many of them are don't have gender-defining attributes. I don't think I'm saying that right. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know how to explain it. Is that the only person we can talk to? Yes, all we can do is talk to this person. So, let's do so. Like, we know this is a female because she describes herself as girlfriend. Oh, hey, if you're looking for Old Bones Bobby, he left while you were dancing with my friend. Well, it has been a while since we've seen each other. I am at fault for not reminding him about my lack of tact, it seems. Sorry if I'm being somewhat nosy, but did the two of you used to be a thing? Something of that kind, yes. It's hard for me to impart anything with a definition, unless it has a certain shade of malevolence to it. What? Good things shouldn't be bound by preconceived notions. Quite an idealistic way to look at things, don't you think so? Darling, I've been alive for so long, I stopped keeping track of my own age. Pragmatism for me is an afterthought. Is that so? Huh. I wonder what kind of life leads someone to end up a shade. As do I, my dear, as do I. I think I simply loved life too much to entertain the idea of death. Must have been one lucky life to be had. Again, some of this reads oddly. I wonder if English is not the first language of the author. It's fine, and nothing like doesn't make sense. Just some of the cadences are weird for me. Aren't most. Sorry, it's just I don't think an immortal will have an easy time understanding it. Well, that's the most attainable thing right now that would make your life even a little bit better. What's the most attainable thing? Having my girlfriend to myself? I think I can help you with that. What? No. It's a professional event. We came all this way to make impressions. Having a good time isn't necessarily a requirement for that. Tsk. You mortals are always making up reasons to be dissatisfied, aren't you? You know, for someone who lived so long, I thought you would have learned the value of patience. Well, maybe with coffee as good as the one you make, I might as well take my time. I'll take that as a compliment. Well, of course, how else would one interpret it? I think I'll have to say goodbye to you for tonight. Jules seems to be busy, so I might as well take my leave and rest in my room. Oh no! Is Pumpkin going to be our victim? Is there a victim? It's a mystery, supposedly. Oh, I have to click to move on. Sometimes it just plays. And I never know which. Okay, so we watch her leave. Well, aren't you a charmer? What's that, old man? Jealous? I'm ready for a dance whenever you are. Oh, hush. Stuff like that's better left for the young and hot-blooded. Not so long ago, you were just like that. Why should something as insignificant as the passage of time change that? Still the same old muse I fell for all those years ago. I really did miss you, you know. Yeah, you were just so busy back during our last meeting. I didn't want to distract you from the more important things in your life. Sooner or later, you have to start considering that maybe you're one of those important things in other person's... See, this reads weird. Sooner or later, you have to start considering that maybe you're one of those important things in the other person's life. As lovely as it would be, I'm just a guest. I'm not sure if I can just stay and watch someone's life pass right before my own eyes. Maybe the difference wouldn't be as noticeable if it didn't take you years to visit me. I'm sorry, Bobby. I truly am. You know, it's just not how I do things. It's quite hard to change the way I am. Yet you were looking after me after I bought this hotel from Lady Quintessence 10 years ago, weren't you? So you noticed. I hoped you would talk to me, but you just watched in silence. Why? I'm sorry for making you wait for me. I thought if I was out of the picture for long enough, you would find someone else to spend the rest of your days with. Casey, it's not just about a passing flirt here and there. It's not just about a passing flirt here and there. I couldn't care less about being in any sort of formal relationship. What I was missing was the friend I had in you. And you can justify it however you want, be it related to the nature of your immortal existence as a shade, or more personal stuff. But facts are facts. You left me because you're scared of getting too close to someone. Maybe you're right. Da-na-na. That was a cool effect. It is! She's... No! Pumpkin! No! This is Pumpkin's body. It fell through the tent. Julia? Julia, do you hear me? Don't look there. Not right now. Robert, is there any tea? Upper corner shelf in the kitchen. Come here, sweetie. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is bad. No kidding. Shouldn't we call the police? There's a phone at the other side of the rope car. Casey, can you call for them? You're going to let a shade call the police? Okay. Please, just call the cops already. Yes, we discovered the body of one of the guests falling through a tent with a blade in her back. We aren't aware of who the murderer is. What? How many guests were there at the party? A few dozen, I would gather. Yes, most of them have already left. What do you mean you won't send anyone till the morning? Hello? Hello? What should I have expected, honestly? Why did a night as beautiful as this had to be stained by something as awful as murder? See that? Why did a night as beautiful as this had to be stained? Bobby, where's everyone? They've scattered, trying to distract themselves from what they just saw. Did you call the cops? Yeah, but they won't do anything till the morning. Figures. So what do you think about all this? Can't say for sure right now. Better to search the hotel for any clues there might be, and then regroup to have everyone on the same page. Makes sense. I'll stay here, making sure no one disturbs the body. If someone comes back, I'll say that we should regroup an hour from now. Ditto. Ooh. Okay, let's start up here. Was her body pushed out of the window? Because there's a window up here. Okay. I think it's the window of room number 8, but with the tent in the way, it's hard to say for sure. Oh, okay. Cool. That's the window of room number 8. I believe that our victim was the one who stayed there. That is room number 7's window. Double Trouble's window. That's the window of room number 9 tonight. Lady Quintessence is staying there. Oh. Okay. Okay. And now we're going to look at the body. There's a carving knife stuck in Pumpkin's back. Her sweater seems to absorb most of the blood. Coffee stains. It's a key to room number 8. Can I not take the key? How do I... Where's the... Okay. Just trying to find the... Yeah, okay. Oops. Okay. Alright. It says it's okay. It's still blinking, which makes me think there's something else I can do here. But I don't think that there is. This closes it. Okay. Any progress? Still yet to finish looking through everywhere. Well, in that case, take my key to the rope car's control panel. What for? Has a built-in logbook of sorts. Maybe it'll help us narrow down exactly what happened here. Speaking of which, do you have any idea about the alibis of those who are still present in the hotel? From what it seems, from the moment when Pumpkin departed this room and until we found her body, everybody has left and come back, having enough time so that none of the still present guests can confirm seeing the other. Outside of Double Trouble, that is, but you know how it is with those who are in that close outside of double trouble, that is, but you know how it is with those who are that close in situations like this one. So, without testimonies of all the attendants who've already left, we won't be able to rely on alibis before the cops will get around to it themselves. Seems to be the case. Okay. A horror book accompanied by a custom bookmark that ends with a single blue petal. Groovy tunes give this place a vibe that even cackling snobby aristocrats can't ruin, partially because it makes it harder to hear them. Is that I can't do anything with this? No, okay. Rooms. Can I talk to anyone? What are you two doing? We wanted to check on Pumpkin's room, but the door's closed. Sorry if I'm being impolite, but considering that you were in a relationship with Pumpkin, shouldn't you have a key to it, Miss Crescent Moon? Well, no. Pumpkin asked me to stay in separate rooms this trip. Neither of us had the other's key. She used to get in a mood where she wanted to stay alone for a while. So it wasn't, unusual. Now I wish I wasn't so respectful of her boundaries. It's better not to interfere with evidence without reason. Can you ask Bobby for a copy of the key to Pumpkin's room? What for? I can just open it from the other side. You can? Locks aren't exactly a thing for me. The room's pretty empty. Only one painting and some luggage resting on top of a drawer. And inside is a box for a wedding ring. Miss Crescent Moon, I didn't know the two of you were engaged. Neither did I. There's no ring inside. Can you leave me alone for some time, please? Sure, I'll be waiting outside. I always thought that the phrase was referring to the likes of me. You know, kind of how things one says to not always reach the ears of others intended. Of the others the intended way, details get lost. Well, in this case, maybe something should have stayed a secret, at least for a bit longer. I think she was going to propose. Jules finding out about Bethany's intentions right after what has transpired hits too open of a wound. They could have had a wonderful life. I was rooting for them. How long have they been together? A few years by now, I'd say. Introduced them to each other myself. You knew both of them before they'd gotten to know each other. Crescent Moon and I, well, I guess you kind of already know the story. But me and Pumpkin were friends for a while even before then. She was the kind of introverted person who would get adopted into a friend group, making more personal one-on-one connections with those in it. So it wasn't much of a surprise when she and Crescent Moon got together. Especially considering that while Crescent Moon is a more sociable one, she still had her own struggles connecting to others. Being responsible for an entire business where she herself has fought the hardest to stay and maintain it. Pumpkin was kind of an emotional anchor for her. Now that she's gone, I just hope she won't do anything rash. How did you get in our room? Don't hide in the shadows if you no wish to be intruded upon. So what you doing? What does it look like we're doing? We're trying to unwind. Then by all means continue. I'm just looking for clues. Ugh. You know what? Whatever. Go ahead. I will. How come you're not talking with each other? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're not alone and we don't trust those who just barge into our room without an invitation when a murder happened. She would prefer me to spy on you without being noticed. Just get out already. I have enough of a headache already. The two of them won't allow me to read while they're here. Looks like this window's lock is broken and cannot be opened. Okay. Door is slightly open. So many things to look at. So much movement. Start here. Oh. Oh. Romero, meet me at 11 p.m. in the hall. There's a note hidden in a secret compartment. Spilled coffee cup. Roof plates below the window are shaken out of place. Some blood can be seen forming puddles. Is that all I can see out here? My. One piece of a paper bill. Part of the coffee splattered on the wall frame behind the painting. So I can't open the painting from this side. Interesting. Besides the two secret entrances behind the paintings, it looks like this room has a third entrance, but it's 3 meters away from the ground. Not a problem for me, but for others, this is a one-way entrance. And another entry point in the roof, also 3 meters away from the ground, but due to the elevator's intricate cage-like design, easily possible to climb here. Oh, that's the elevator. Leave us alone. Okay. Go back to the lobby. Helen, remember Bethany Jewel's black sword. There's something under the table. Inside a piece of wrapped cloth, a big stack of cash, a ring, and a torn pearl necklace. Chain which should be in place is opened up. We looked at this before. Bushes have been cut down rather poorly. Quite a risky place to rest at, don't you think? Oh, it's you. What brings you here? A serviceman. Everyone scattered so fast that we didn't have time to say that the meeting regarding what happened will be held less than an hour from now. Yes, neither I nor the guests have found a body with a knife in its back. The most cheery of sights. And that's why you're here sulking. With all due respect, I know you're a special guest, but I'm not paid enough to deal with the likes of you. Have some respect for the feelings of the still living. Okay. Maybe not the most tactful choice of words. My apologies. Well, I'll be. Ugh, whatever. Must be nice to have little to no care in the world, eh? Well, it's hardly that simple. Oh, really? You've no need for a roof over your head, as at any moment you can basically go any place known to you, and take your rest there, regardless of the wishes of those around you, because, oh, what luck, no one can do anything against you, unless you're willing for it to happen. One would think that immortality would make it harder to connect to those around you. But wouldn't you know, everyone's just so enamored with you that you have no problems to disregard even those who've been waiting to see you for nearly 15 years. Someone's mad at me for ignoring Old Bones Bobby. You're oversimplifying it, buddy. Oh, really? Because that's how it looks to me. A life like yours is something I can't even dream of, let alone achieve. Yet the likes of you just waste it on these games of cat and mouse. Ugh. Back in the day, I had so many hopes for the future, and just a blink away, all I have to show for it is a steady job that is just comfortable enough as not to quit, yet a dead end in the hopes of ever being able to make enough to change anything. Today, I see a girl half my age, and yet with so many more opportunities and potential, lying on the terrace with a knife in her back. What am I supposed to take away from it? Honestly, I don't think anything will ever change. I've been stuck in this hotel for the past 20 years of my life, and will be stuck until I draw my final breath. Why are you saying all of this to me? It's called a meltdown, lad. Please, just leave me alone for now. I'll see you all in the main party room in an hour or so. Let me sulk some more, as you put it. A rather dangerous slip. Okay. So nothing there has changed. This is different. That stuff wasn't there before, but let's go back out here. Oh, what brings you, Wandering Shadow? Oh, that's you, Wandering Shadow. What brings you here? The body one floor above us. Of course, gotta say, not something I was expecting to see tonight, be it Hallows Eve or not. Can't a gal just organize a party without having to deal with this unforeseen aftermath? Now I'll have so much paperwork to go through. It's going to be a miserable evening or two. Of course that's what she cares about. Oh no, paperwork because someone died. We'll see if my lawyer can find a loophole where I won't have to deal with all of that. Wow. Reading my mind. Such a display of compassion. You don't even want to pretend like you care for what's happened. What for? You're a shade. I don't really need to impress you. Your words don't really matter in the eye of the law. If anything, you being around makes it oh so much easier for them to just pin the whole thing on you. So what? You're just getting wasted until then, with possibly a murderer still wandering the halls of the hotel? Darling, there were something around 40 people visiting this party. What are the chances the murderer is both still around, would want to kill more, and me specifically? Well, they're not zero. Okay, I'll admit I like that kind of thinking, but still, right now, this bottle is worth the risk. Okay. Anything else out here? Oh, the... The last group of guests left while Pumpkin was last seen alive. Okay. Okay, it's here. Can I... Okay, I can't, like, draw. Surrounded by bushes, seem to be carefully maintained. Okay. I have everything I need for now. Better check on Bobby. I think I've heard that staring at dead bodies for too long isn't healthy. This isn't how I hoped for this night to transpire. No kidding. You know, whenever I would read all the detective stories that sit in my collection, I'd imagine how exciting it would be to unravel a mystery playing out right in front of me. Now that it's happening, I just want it all to end. A girl is dead, killed under my roof, and I was none the wiser. It'll be all right, Bobby. I'm here for you. And how long will that last? Ooh, and we meet it with silence. Back when I first saw you appear at the grand reopening of this hotel, I hoped that one evening, while I was indulging in reading my collection, you would come out of the shadows, sit beside me, saying nothing, and we would just drink tea. Needless to say, my book collection grew quite moderately since then, old friend. That it did. Deluxe editions, additional materials, even signatures by authors. That's strange. I don't remember ever meeting S.S. Cephio. That should have had crimson antlers signed and said. That one's much more up my alley. Guess my old mind just isn't the same as it used to be. Huh. Oh, seems like most of us are already here. Bethany. So, what should we do? We analyze, we discuss, and we uncover the truth. But still, the serviceman hasn't come back. That's odd. I've told him to be here by now. I'd better go look for him. This is a matter we should all discuss. Listen, we didn't come to hang around the dead body of my past coworker. Wait, even longer, for some nobody. It's not like all of us are paying attention to this, seeing as how little Miss hypocrite can't even put two words together. Don't you dare even speak about me. If there was any justice in the world, you'd have been the one with the knife in your back, not her. You! Aaron, that's enough. Now's not the time for pettiness. Let her grieve. Everyone calm down. We can outline the basis of what transpired here before the serviceman shows up. Very well. What do we know? What do we know? Miss Bethany, who tonight has gone by the title Pumpkin, fell through the roof of the tent with a knife in her back. Considering that her room is right above it, someone must have stabbed her while her room was opened. Thrown her body onto the slightly sloped roof under her room's window to hide it, and then slowly slid down, falling through the tent, with the killer by now most likely leaving the party before any of us were able to discover it. While sound at first glance, you're making a dangerous assumption that the killer no longer being in this very building. It's simple probability and logic. All the guests who didn't plan to stay in the hotel tonight left around 8 p.m. Well, we last saw Pumpkin leaving this room at around, 8:30? The sound thing for someone to do is to murder Pumpkin soon after she left this room, hide her body so it would take longer to discover it, and just leave while no panic's been raised. Double Trouble's wrong in their assumption the killer left the party after killing Pumpkin at some point after 8:30. How can you prove it? You're mistaken. The last rope car left this hotel while Pumpkin was still seen alive. Which means the murderer is one of us! And that's not our only assumption. You see, Pumpkin wasn't killed in her own room. She was killed in Lady Quintessence's room. Dun dun dun. Miss Lady, you were silent for a while now. Why is that? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't visited my room since before we discovered the body. Well, should we enlighten you toward its current state? The first thing, hinting directly towards this, is the hole in the tent being located right below your window, which has been left wide open. Alright guys, hold on. I'm gonna snip this screen. Mostly specifically... Hello? For this image right here. So cool. I want to cut that out for my thumbnail, mayhaps. Okay. The roof under said window has out-of-place tiles in the shape of a body, as well as blood forming in pools around them. The door to your room was left open, and near the corner between the painting and the window, there's spilled coffee. Wait, you said the door to my room was opened. Shouldn't that raise less suspicion toward me? Just because she was murdered in my room doesn't mean I was the one who did it. I didn't even have a key to my own room until Bobby gave me a copy. You didn't have your key? Lost it at some point before the bulk of the party started. Informed serviceman to ask Bobby for a copy, which I have on me now. Can you confirm it, Bobby? That I can. Every numbered room has 2 keys. One given to the guest, the other stays with me unless the first is lost. And what about room service? I give my keys to serviceman, and he gives them back to me after that. So what you're saying is, the serviceman has his reasons not to be here right now? Only because of them possibly having a key to Lady Quintessence's room? That isn't much evidence. If he was here, it would be easy to dismiss, unless we can prove him having one. Surely there must be more than that. You're right. In fact, anyone could have found the key in question. No, I believe there's another reason for him not being around. Why is the serviceman not around? Because of the thievery. That's... What? That's mine! That's my ring. I'm not even talking about the ring. I meant the pearl necklace, or at least what's left of it. And besides those two, we have a large wad of cash. Any idea who it might belong to? Interesting. The piece of cloth with all its contents had been hidden under a table in the basement, with a few pearls being scattered along the way. I think he decided to hide or run because he discovered you stumbling on his stash. Quite possible. I can't believe it. Would never think that Bill would steal from the guests. And if the cash has been stolen from previous guests, he must have been stealing small stuff from our guests for a long time. Wouldn't call stealing wedding rings small stuff. Yes, my apologies. So what does this mean? Serviceman found Lady Quintessence's lost room key and used it to make his way in to steal. Pumpkin must have been going past the open door, saw him robbing her, confronted him, and Serviceman attacked her for that. Having killed her, dropped her body out the window onto the roof, and from there it slowly slid until falling through the tent. Not quite. We still have a number of loose ends that don't fit into that theory. Like that of where the murder weapon in question came from. What's that supposed to mean? Apologies. Give me a second to catch my breath. The murder weapon is a regular carving knife. There's one in nearly every pumpkin here. He must have just took the nearest one when confronting Pumpkin. That's the thing. Each set of pumpkins in the hotel has knives in them. As far as I noticed, none were missing any. So what does that mean? The blade must have been prepared in advance. This murder wasn't an accident. It must have been intentional. Bobby, outside of the carving knives and the pumpkins all over the hotel, were there any spare ones around? There were. We had them stored in the basement. Why are we even questioning it anymore? Everything points to the serviceman. There's one more thing. The secret room. Secret room? A room that's meant to be a secret? Yes. You see, there's more to the place of murder than meets the eye. Pumpkins and Lady Quintessence's room are connected. Connected, yes. From the hall, it looks like the two of them are separated with an elevator. But in actuality, there's an empty space between it and the rooms. 2 points of entry. One is a painting in Lady Quintessence's room, the other in a roof pathway connecting to the elevator. 2 exits, one through the same painting in Lady Quintessence's room, another through the painting in Pumpkin's room. An entrance through the roof pathway? Seems that once the elevator's on the 3rd floor, one can climb its cage, like walls up to the attic-esque place where they can jump into the secret room. That's interesting and all, but what does this have to do with the murder? There's no reason to suspect that either Pumpkin or Serviceman knew about it. Actually, there's not only a reason, but evidence to prove it. It's the... What proves Pumpkin was aware of the secret of the coffee? Coffee stains on the wall of the frame behind the picture in Lady Quintessence's room. And we can be sure the coffee's been spilled by Pumpkin herself, as she has the same stains on her sweater. So Pumpkin discovered the secret room and catched the serviceman in the process of stealing Lady Quintessence's pearl necklace, leading him to kill her? Was the knife in that case an extra measure in case he would get caught in the act? Was the knife in that case an extra measure? Okay, there we go. There's one more thing. The painting in Pumpkin's room can be opened only from inside of the secret room itself. So if she came into Lady Quintessence's room through it, would it have been open? Would it have had to be opened in advance? What does that mean? It's possible that Serviceman used the secret room to enter Pumpkin's room and stole her ring, with her catching him in the act. He ran, but she pursued him to be confronted in Lady Quintessence's room, where he stabbed her with a knife he must have had on him. But even then, some things just don't add up. Then just find the stupid serviceman rather than waste time on your theories. We already had reason to suspect him when he didn't show up to this meeting. With what you said, it'll be hard to deny... Michelle! No. No! Can't you see it? It touched her, and now it will take me away. It's... What's going on? Both of them are still breathing, even if faintly. No fever either. I'll get them some cold water. It's better for them to rest for the time being. We have some medical tea in our room. Don't know if it'll help, but it's better to try than not. There isn't much I can do, and we still need to look for Serviceman. At worst, he's somewhere in the forest by now, but it's more probable that he stole one of your cars to get as far as possible. I'll just catch him at the closest intersection in that case. Firstly, let's check if he even left the hotel with the rope car departure records. You're coming with me. Me and Crescent Moon, yes. We'll be able to find him faster if more of us look for him. Plus, it'll be less awkward to look for the killer of my friend than hanging around here. You aren't against that, right? We'll have an opportunity to chat in the meantime. I'm sure the likes of him can't be allowed to run away from what they did. A storm is brewing. Look at me all moody. Strangely enough, no, wherever he is, he's still here. Yes, but the two of you better not split up. If our suspicions are correct, we have a murder on our hands. Who knows what he can do if confronted alone? Fellas, I think there's something in this bush. What's it doing here? Did someone try to dispose of it since the last time we've seen it? Can it be that it has clues to the killer's identity? Whichever it is, we need to check on Pumpkin's body. How are they? Still unconscious. Did you find anything? Serviceman's still somewhere in this hotel. Rope car hasn't departed since last we checked. Huh. There's also the matter of this. Is that... Let's see. This is a different knife after all. What does this mean? We'd better find Serviceman as soon as possible. In this case, me and Crescent Moon will check the first floor while you take care of the second and third. Okay. Cup of coffee that Mrs. Romero was drinking. It has the blue in it there. Single blue petal. Anything new here? No. The last entry. Helen proposes to buy one of the integrated barista establishments in one of her hotels. The bookmark. A few newspaper articles about Blacksword. What's become of the tyrant? Blacksword family sells off. Son attempts to repay the sins of the father. Is there any future for the Blackswords? This is a book full of business notes. A broken vase that wasn't here when I first investigated the room. This one's now missing its knife. Okay. Spilled coffee cup. This is Serviceman! His throat is slit and his arm has a visible cut on it. And in his pocket is a key to Lady Quintessence's room. I think I have everything I need for now. Our inheritor of Lost Glory and Miss Crescent Moon back. We're here. Ms. Romero, Lady Quintessence, you're all right? Far from it, but at least we're not passed out, dear. Robert made the two of them drink cold water with lemon, and they started feeling a bit better. Don't ever call me that again. Did you three find Bill? Unfortunately, I did. Avert your eyes if you're squeamish. No, it can't be. Bill! Let's just say I don't think he killed himself. Where did you find him? That's the interesting part. It was in the secret room. What? Yes, the same secret room I've told you all about. Needless to say, he wasn't there last time I checked. So when he was killed, between the point of you last checked the secret room and when you found him, that's quite a small window, isn't it? I came to the meeting about 20 minutes earlier, and then we waited for an extra 10 minutes for everyone outside of Serviceman to come around. So there's about a half-hour window between when I've last been to the room and when I found his body. That's troublesome. A lot of us had the opportunity to do it. Except Bobby, that is. He was with me shortly after I'd been to the secret room. On top of that, you can serve as Crescent Moon's alibi and vice versa. Same goes for Double Trouble. Leaving only Lady Quintessence. You! Why are you even here? For all the theorizing you've done, you've never given us an opportunity to consider you as the killer. What purpose would I have to kill? No authority can catch me, so this charade wouldn't play any purpose to me. Even if it wasn't you yourself, something must have come looking after you. Throughout most of this night, I've been seeing something. Things I couldn't explain. But what purpose is there to doubt my own mind when there's already one creature unbound by laws of our reality already around? Is it so out there to propose that their baggage has come hunting down those around them? And you accuse me of wild theories. You're so certain that it's not just in your mind that you close your eyes to hard facts. What facts are you talking about, harbinger of death? I love that phrase. You've passed out before seeing some sort of creature unseen to us. You've passed out before seeing some sort of creature unseen to us, showing the same kinds of symptoms as Miss Romero over there. But Miss Romero, please answer. Have you seen a creature of any kind? Not when I passed out, no. Voila. But I saw something when I was back in my room. Excuse me? I saw things I'd prefer not to talk about. Things that couldn't have been real. I wouldn't have shared it had it not happened to only me. Had it not happened only to me. I wouldn't have shared it had it not happened only to me. Writing it off as stress-induced delusions, but now I'm not so sure. I think that's supposed to be had it happened only to me. And it would be only fair to share that I've seen some things as well. Nothing as big as what my wife shared with me, but still worrisome. Was this the case for anyone else? If we count small visual hallucinations, then somewhat, I guess. Yes. Sure. Huh. I believe the key to what has happened to you lies within this. A book? Bobby, can you summarize the story of this book, specifically about the flower in it? So you figured it out. Yes, the flower in the book causes numerous hallucinations to the characters. In the book, it uses the fictional name of Silence Nevermore, but its characteristics are quite similar to an existing flower. Nightheart's Elysium. A flower that grows around this hotel. What's that supposed to mean? You're growing hallucinogens? I have to stress that it's not the main use of this flower. Normally, it's used as a faint muscle relaxant, with its scent in particular causing a sense of tranquility. It's legal and widely used by a lot of resorts given that they have a license for it, which I do, mind you. This is why you knew what to do when Lady Quintessence and Miss Romero collapsed, isn't it? That's right. I didn't say anything about it because, to put it bluntly, I don't want to get sued. I fear that the flowers were consumed accidentally, as you see. Usually as precautions, we would have other kinds of flowers inside the hotel itself. But the bunch we ordered for tonight have been delayed, so I had to ask the serviceman to cut a bush from the back of the hotel. However, seeing nearly everyone here saw something tonight, I have reason to believe that what happened with Miss Romero and Lady Quintessence wasn't an accident. What's that supposed to mean? On its own, the flowers are harmless, but if mixed with coffee brew, it can cause mild or severe hallucinations, combined with a sense of weakness depending on the way it's prepared. But I haven't felt weak, even though I've seen stuff myself. It depends on whether the petals were added into the coffee itself, or if it was ground beforehand. And just as you say, there was a trace of ground Nightheart's Elysium stuck to the bottom of the cup that Mr. Romero spilled. So what? Someone poisoned us on purpose? Well, poisoned is a strong word, implying pain or harm. In your case, someone has tried to incapacitate you. That's still poisoning, Bobby. Someone poisoned us. And I believe I know who it was. You do? Oh, yes. I believe that our one and only Black Sword hasn't been fully truthful with us tonight. Is that so? You see, I believe that their true identity, the person standing in front of us, isn't actually a Black Sword. Oh, what made you think so? I found something that puts your identity into question. Hey, that's my notebook. You see, this notebook had an interesting paper article in it. Son attempts to repay the sins of the father. But then I remembered a little slip of the tongue from Crescent Moon as we were talking about you. Or rather to say, when we were talking about Blacksword. Something along the lines of, well, his father was the reason for the current unionization and labor laws to even be made in the first place. His father, not their father. She was talking about the real Blacksword, not you. Sorry for that. I thought they didn't notice it. That's all right, all the more dramatic of an entrance. Well, bravo, you're right. I'm not Mr. Blacksword. Then who in the world are you, and how did you know that I've invited them? Well, I do know Blacksword. You see, I'm actually... One moment, please. Can I guess? Guess. I think you have enough to go off as to know my true identity. I think I do. You're S.S. Cephio, author of this book. Wow, aren't you a perceptive one? You gotta be kidding me. Seriously? Really, I gotta say I love your Crimson Antlers, a masterclass of slow-burning terror. It's always so nice to hear compliments about what one considers... Blah, blah, blah. It's always nice to hear compliments about that one, considering how rarely it's mentioned on its own. But how did you know? Shouldn't have signed the book if you didn't want to be found out. I've checked the guest book and noticed that the handwriting of the signature on this book and the guest one were quite similar. Why in the world did you pretend to be a Blacksword? Had you written to me, I'd have given you an invite myself. Oh, come on. It's Halloween. A night to wear masks and to pretend to be someone monstrous. How could I pass on the opportunity to play a child of a wicked creature such as Blacksword? Amari figured that trying to please the public in his situation an uphill battle, so he just doesn't bother to do that, and proposed I go under his name. As well as an opportunity to play on my nerves. So what, Blacksword's actually some horror writer? What does this have to do with my wife and Lady Quintessence being poisoned? Right, Cephio, you're the one who wrote a book that heavily relies on knowledge of how the Nightheart Elysium works, yet you haven't brought it up at any point. Including when Lady Quintessence started wildly theorizing regarding her hallucinations. How come? I guess it just slipped my mind. Don't joke around with me. You've been silent because the person who poisoned the coffee was Miss Crescent Moon. Considering that the two of you have known each other for a while now, she must have read your book as well. Meaning she knew about the flower and possibly even its real-life counterpart. You recognize what's happening, and you tagged along with me to look for the servicemen to talk about that. Good theory, but not nearly enough as it's to support it. Well, who cares at this point? Yes, I poisoned them. You little... I knew you were a petty one, but to stoop so low as to poison my wife because your own girlfriend died is just pathetic. I didn't try to poison your wife, you egocentric idiot. You were the one for whom that poison was intended. She just drank it by mistake. Oh, that does make more sense. Michelle, don't just agree with her. Oh, hon, I wouldn't have married you had I not been ready to be poisoned by one of your competitors. That's just part of the deal. Okay, I can't with that. Well, that's pretty sweet, actually. Oh, for the love of... Why did you poison us? Because I'm sure one of you killed Pumpkin. You think I'll just stay on the sidelines and do nothing about it? This is preposterous. I had no ill intention toward her. Oh, please, you're the most two-faced person here. Even if she wasn't killed in your room, I would still suspect you. No need to explain why I suspected Mr. Romero. But why did you poison everyone else? I figured if the police were to drug test us, it would be suspicious for only Lady Quintessence and Mr. Romero to have traces of the Nightmares Elysium. So I added a small dose to everyone's coffee. Even mine. Girl, you so gonna get sued. That's if you won't be in prison for murder before then. Enough. This is all nice, but where does it lead us? Well, yes, this little detour into the mystery of the deranged dames and the dramatic games reveals that we were drugged, some more than others, as well as who drugged us. Does it lead us closer to finding out any of who the two murders, Does it lead us closer to figuring out any of the two murders? I added a word there. That was my fault. That's something I'm not really sure about, to be honest. Sometimes it's just good to go with the flow and see where it leads. Even then, we were able to unravel one part of what's happened today, which means we'll have an easier time figuring out the rest. Okay, once again, what do we know? Serviceman was killed sometime within a half-hour window. During it, nearly everyone formed a pair, so each person can testify for the other's alibi. It leaves only Lady Quintessence unaccounted for. Not to mention that she's the one who diverted the flow of the investigation in the first place. You aren't actually accusing this lady of murder after you tried to cover up I was poisoned, are you? There's a first time for everything. How stupid do you expect me to be to kill someone in my own room after there was already another murder in it? After our first meeting in the window of time when Serviceman was murdered, I've yet to reveal my discovery of the secret room. It's quite possible that a certain someone, while still thinking no one else knew about the secret room, killed Serviceman and hid his body there to then dispose of it later. Now that's just ridiculous. One more thing. The door to your room was closed. So, a copy of my key is still somewhere out there. Anyone who found it could have closed it. Except that I found the key to your room in Serviceman's pocket. Too many coincidences for one night. Oh, please. The murderer must have killed Serviceman in my room, hid his body in the secret room, closed the door from the inside, then gone out through the elevator entrance. No, it's impossible to use the elevator entrance as an exit due to its height and thin space. The only way a Serviceman's killer would be able to get out is either through Lady Quintessence's or Pumpkin's door. Need a key to the corresponding room to close it behind them, with Pumpkin's body having her key and Serviceman's having a key to LQ's room on them. The only person who had the copy of Pumpkin's key having an alibi at the time of a murder. Well, for all we know, the killer could have dropped Serviceman through the elevator access without entering the secret room itself to begin with. They would have had to get the body from the place of the murder all the way to the elevator, climb to its highest part, and then drag it at least, what? A 70-kilogram body 3 meters high, all the while not being spotted or leaving a trace of a body being dragged. Maybe not if there were two of them. You're seriously implicating us. Sorry, dear, but I'm backed against a wall here. Just think. Isn't it possible that the Romeros killed him during that period of time, hidden him on the top of the elevator somewhere in the shadow of a roof support, for the Romero to then move the body later on in order to implicate me? He did take a trip to the 3rd floor when going after medicine as Miss Romero collapsed. He could have climbed onto the roof pathway, dropped Serviceman's body to implicate Lady Quintessence, should he and his wife prepared it in advance. We're just jumping between theories at this point. Well, there's a piece of evidence that can give us a better idea regarding its murder. Nope. Nope. A knife we found in a bush. Which bush exactly? The one to the left of the hotel entrance. Well, this is interesting. Do you remember which room's window is located just in the corner between the terrace and the hotel's front side? Double troubles. But even so, why hide the knife? And why under their own window? Wouldn't it make more sense to just throw it into the nearly unreachable cliffs at the base of the hotel? Too much trouble to only raise more suspicion in a scenario where the knife is found. If anything, the most logical window to dispose of a knife that any suspect outside of you may think of is yours. So what? Serviceman's murder happened in a short time frame. I wouldn't have had time to go outside and plant the knife, nor throw it far enough for it to land specifically under Romero's window from mine. No, there is one way. Pumpkin's body was on it for some time before it slid down. You could have used it to get toward Double Trouble's window, then dropped the blade from the hotel. What? Wait, that must be it. Romero must have gotten into my room from the window that was open since the start of the investigation. That way he could have closed the door from inside and gone out through his own window. That must be it. Alas, Double Trouble's window is broken. What? No, it can't be. It can't be. Fine. I can't go on like this. I've dragged my name through the dirt enough during this embarrassment of a defense. Helen. Yes, I killed Serviceman, but only Serviceman. We're listening. I haven't visited my room till a bit before our first meeting. What reason would I have to do so at that time? We didn't know that the window from which Pumpkin fell out of was mine and not her own. When I was about to enter my room, I saw that the door to it was open, and inside was Serviceman doing something behind an open painting. I tried to glimpse at what he was doing until the wooden floor creaked, letting him know about my presence. In hindsight, it's possible he was trying to get rid of some evidence. He panicked, and the next thing I remember was him trying to hit me with a vase. I grabbed the carving knife in self-defense. First swing cut his arm, the second, his throat. I didn't mean for him to die. I just didn't want to repeat the fate that fell upon our dear Pumpkin. Just to think that Bill would attempt to harm you, a person he worked for more than a decade. Why didn't you tell me? Sorry, for trying to sift this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting all worked up. Sorry for trying to shift the suspicion onto you. Thought that if I murked the waters, it would be harder to prove that I was the one who killed him, even if not intentionally. Miss Crescent Moon, I swear I didn't do anything to Pumpkin. Considering Serviceman's actions, it's highly possible that he found my lost key, invited Miss Pumpkin into my room under some excuse, and then killed her to put all the suspicion onto me. Is that right? Excuse me? You see, this is a knife from your room. So what of it? There are knives in a lot of jack-o'-lanterns. You said you grabbed the knife as Serviceman noticed you entering the room, and yet, instead of running away as he attacked you, you somehow made your way to the opposite side of the room, grabbed the knife before Serviceman was able to do anything, with no signs of a struggle in that part of the room itself. If anything, the vase you stated Serviceman used was closer to the entrance. Lady Quintessence intended to kill Serviceman. She took the knife before the two of them met, and the vase was used by him for self-defense. Helen? And I think I know why she tried to kill him. You see, Lady Quintessence alludes that she did intend to kill someone else tonight. In fact, someone who still stands in this room. What's that supposed to mean? You see, it's quite possible that trying to get rid of the evidence wasn't the only thing he intended to do in your room. Nope. The cash Bill stole over the years? Oh, Bobby, you're mistaken. None of this was stolen. It was payment. Helen, say something. No comment? Why's that now? Afraid to give away information that might give the police enough to work with to put you behind bars? Well then, let me tell you how this night was supposed to play out. Prior to Old Bones Bobby, you used to own this hotel, with Servicemen working here even back then. So the two of you knew each other quite well. You knew that after working here for more than 20 years, he wanted to turn his life around. But how could he? He never made enough to afford moving somewhere else. A free room for staff was too good to just let go of in his situation. So you proposed a deal, one he couldn't say no to. Kill, and you'll get money. Fast forward to tonight when your little arrangement was supposed to play out. And before you know it, you hear a scream coming from the terrace. A body was found, but it wasn't the body of the person who you were expecting. It was Pumpkin. But how come? It wasn't what you agreed upon. You couldn't confront Serviceman in front of all of us, so you left with double trouble as an excuse to later meet up with him. And when you did, you were sure he was the one who must have killed Pumpkin. It was too much of a coincidence. You see him trying to find the money that was meant to be in the secret room, so you confront him. And everything plays out just about how you described, with the exception of you already being ready to kill him. This is a nice little theory you've baked here, but a huge stack of cash can't be the only evidence you have of that. Well then, wouldn't you want to take a look at this? Is this supposed to be addressed to me? I found it in the secret compartment of Lady Quintessence's table. If you had any doubts about the author of this card, I recommend you compare it to this. It's Lady Quintessence's handwriting. I have nothing to say until I see my lawyer. You tried to kill my husband? Why? As far as I can say, the reasoning is simple. Money. What? She did propose to buy out one of the cafes placed in one of her hotels, didn't she? Mr. Romero was the face of your company. Had he died, your company would face at least some kind of financial trouble. Give it just a bit of time, Lady Quintessence would propose to buy out more and more of your establishments for a much lesser price. All of that just to make me sell a bunch of coffee chain places? You're a businesswoman just like me, Michelle. You know how it works. Can't we restrain her until the police get here? I'll go look for a rope. Go on. You're just giving more for a lawyer to play around with. I swear I'm going to kill her. This is why I invited Crescent Moon, Pumpkin, and even Black Sword, to create as many suspects who might have had motivation to kill Mr. Romero. That is, if he was considered to be killed, at least. This is why the chains to the basement were laying on the ground. You agreed with servicemen to implicate him in the middle of the night, see him get out the back, and throw him down the cliffs. At best, it would look like an accident. I found rope. Do we really need to do this? Yeah, no chance we're trusting you as much as moving till the police come around. So what, Bill killed Pumpkin while trying to steal from her while Lady Quintessence killed Bill for doing that? Hard to tell yet. Feels like I'm missing something, but I can't put a finger on it yet. Don't know about you all, but I need to take a break from all this. Wholeheartedly agree on that. We'll let you know if you find anything. We knew each other for 14 years. I thought I had a friend in you. I cannot believe you would just attempt to kill my husband after all that. Had the part about your husband not been revealed, you would have pretended to sympathize with you by going through such a traumatic experience. Please spare me with your crocodile tears. The only reason you ever stomached me was because I was convenient for you. I confided in you when my mother died. How is that in any way performative? I didn't say performative. I said convenient, and so was that. The only reason you came crying to me is because you had no one who would listen to what you had to say. Don't you ever speak to her in such a way. Well, why did you stop at just one slap? I'm sure a quiet boy like you wanted to get an excuse to do for a while, didn't you? What's that supposed to mean? Go figure, your wife isn't a very good judge of character given how blind she was about me. Who can tell how much she misjudged you? I had enough of this. I hate you. Whatever will come to pass after this night ends, it won't be enough for you. Oh dear, you're an entrepreneur just like me. You should know there's never enough of anything. Well, didn't you blend in nicely enough? Feeling comfortable, aren't you? Not by any means, my dear. Just have to push enough buttons to make them do something that my lawyers will have a pleasant time playing around with. Luckily for me, having a shade involved in all this, as well as everyone being affected by a hallucinogen, will make this case quite unreliable. So I guess I have to send you and Miss Crescent Moon my bonjours for that. Acting like that will save you from the sentence of possibly murdering two. You've been nosy enough as to figure out I killed Bill. Would you really stop now when you can push the blame to me as what happened with Pumpkin? You know that it doesn't make much sense for me to be the one who killed her. So why don't we end this charade and get to the bottom of who did? This doesn't make sense. I've known him ever since I was a teen. Could never imagine that he... We still can't be sure that Serviceman was the one who killed her, especially when we know for certain that Lady Quintessence was the one who killed him. I don't believe that Bill would be capable to murder anyone, let alone Miss Pumpkin. Say that to him agreeing to kill Mr. Romero? There's something I've been considering to tell you, Miss Crescent Moon. Now, whether Pumpkin nor Bill with us, I feel like you deserve to know. Huh? It's about the last time you and Miss Pumpkin visited this place, and how I've stumbled onto something. I was walking past a window overlooking the yard in front of the hotel, as I've noticed Miss Pumpkin standing at the edge of a cliff. Excuse me? Back then there wasn't a fence there. She was just standing at the very edge of it. I was about to run down, fearing the worst, but as I was about to do so, I saw Bill coming toward her. They appeared to be talking with each other. A few minutes later, Bill walked out of my view, leaving Pumpkin alone where she was. Soon after, she stepped away from the edge. I've never asked either of them about it. Now, none of them are here to tell us what happened that evening. Oh, that. You knew about it. She told me about that night a couple months ago. I won't go into details, but yeah, she had her problems. All of us do. And you still decided to take an invitation to this party despite that? Casey, this is one of those cases one should better approach with tact. No, that's fair. I had my reservations about it, but Pumpkin assured me that everything would be all right. Let's just say things didn't turn out like we hoped. Maybe if I didn't stay behind to chat with the guests after our conversation with Double Trouble, she wouldn't have left the party room on her own. Maybe she'd still be here. You can't let yourself get stuck into the trappings of that kind of thinking. Okay, let's get to it. I think I have everything we need to unravel what happened this night. What are you talking about? Didn't we uncover that Lady Quintessence was behind the murders? Either she or Serviceman, who was killed by her. Yeah, it's not like we have any evidence to reach any other conclusions with. My bet's on Lady Q. We've only suspicions toward Bill being a killer, while knowing for sure she killed at least one person tonight. Poor Bobby, always leaning toward the most deceptively apparent and safe options. Live a little. Do I look like the kind of lady to allegedly stab a couple of folks in the back within the same evening? Shut it. Well, Casey, you were quite spot on before. It's only fair to lend our ears to what you have to say now. Well, thank you for giving me a stage. It's true we don't have any new evidence, and from first look of everything seems unclear. Either Lady Q or Serviceman killed Pumpkin with the first killing, Either Lady Q or Serviceman killed Pumpkin with the first killing, second later. What? Okay. But here lies the details of what we averted the first time. Why did Pumpkin's body end up on the roof under Lady Quintessence's window? To hide it? Oh, right. After Serviceman's murder, we can say for certain that she knew about the secret room behind the painting, because that's where she hid him. He might have just as well asked me about it. Shush. I enjoy hearing myself think much more than you talking. But that's strange. With her knowing about the secret room, it's very unlikely she would choose to just throw Pumpkin on the roof. That would make it too easy to find, as we're able to tell from first-hand experience. So in other words, it's very likely that whoever killed Pumpkin didn't know about the secret. But wait, didn't we conclude that Serviceman was the one who stole Crescent Moon's wedding ring and the money that Lady Quintessence kept in the secret room to pay him for the murder of Mr. Double Trouble? That was a lot. Well, there's some theories we can come up with regarding the former. The money was definitely in the secret room. The only way he could have gotten it is by getting inside it. Well, we still cannot be sure where the money was when Serviceman found them, right? We only know that they were there at some point. Neither can we be sure that Pumpkin's key wasn't stolen and given back to her between when she was killed and we found her body. So you're proposing that Bill what? Killed Miss Pumpkin, got her key, then opened the room with it, stole the wedding ring, put the key back in her pocket, and only then started disposing of the body? Yeah, well, it's good to question the basics. I think this will be us reaching out. Meaning, Bill knew about the secret room. Yes, geniuses. But wait, does it mean that whoever killed Pumpkin didn't know about the secret room? Wasn't this something? Bet you didn't want to hear that when asking a shade to perform their little play, right, Romero? No, we can say for certain that Pumpkin's killer knew about the secret room. The coffee stain proves that not only did Pumpkin's killer know about the secret room, but also that during her murder, the entrance to Lady Quintessence's room was open. So doesn't it mean that we're back to square one? It's either Lady Quintessence or Serviceman. Sorry, sweetie, but our friendly Shadow has a point. The secret room was open during Pumpkin's murder, but it doesn't mean that us two were the only ones aware of it. Which would explain why, despite knowing about the secret room, the murderer didn't decide to hide Pumpkin's body there. They were putting suspicion on Lady Quintessence. It was hard to swallow the idea of Bill doing that, because he would have had to know that Lady Quintessence would rat out his involvement in the planned murder of Mr. Double Trouble. But if it was someone else who knew about the secret room, well, that would make so much more sense. Do you have any ideas as to who might be aware of it before you told the rest of us about it? Well, the way I knew about the secret room was because I used to own this hotel. Just for a couple of years, mind you. Meanwhile, Bobby over there had it in his care for over a decade by now. So you're saying that Bobby might be the one who knew about the secret room? Yes, dear. The thing that I'm saying is the thing that is being said. Try to keep up. I'm not going to chew everything for you to understand. Well, Bobby, did you know about it? I actually didn't. This hotel's last interior renovations were made under Lady Quintessence's leadership, which is how both she and Bill must have found out about it. I can't believe that being a cheapskate has proven useful to you. Still, 10 years. How could you not stumble upon it during that time? Well, Bill is the one who would usually be on cleaning duty, so I never properly investigated most of the numbered rooms we have to offer. Let alone climbing into the elevator's cage. I'm no youngling to do such things. My bones would break into tiny pieces of shattered glass if I were to do that. Regardless of even if Bobby knew about the secret room, there's something that's been bugging me for some time. Why did Pumpkin get killed in Lady Quintessence's room? To incriminate me? Yes, but why not kill her somewhere else and only then move the body? Well, we didn't find any blood outside of the spot on the roof she was dropped on her sweater. Her sweater absorbed a lot of it, so we can't really be sure where she was killed. Not sure, but we have things pointing toward Pumpkin being killed there. Pumpkin has traces of coffee on her sleeve, a spilled cup is on the floor in LQ's room, and more coffee is both on the wall and framing of the wall inside the secret room. So what? Not only was she killed in that room, but she also just casually drinking coffee in there with the secret room being open? Makes you think, doesn't it? She was stabbed in the back. There isn't a lot of room to run, all while carrying a drink in her hand. Only natural to assume she dropped her coffee the moment she was stabbed. And I think all of you know what that means. She trusted whoever killed her. I think I know who killed Pumpkin. It was you, Miss Crescent Moon, wasn't it? What? I think you're barking on the wrong tree here, fella. Is that so? We know that Pumpkin was murdered by someone she would trust enough to follow them into a secret room and later turn her back to them. Who would she trust more than her own fiancé? We're talking about trusted enough to go along with them, not the most trusted. And even then, you were there when we opened Pumpkin's room. Can you really say that she trusted me, considering she didn't even give me a key to her number? And that's the thing. I think that's what led you to murder. What? You're not seriously telling me I killed her because she didn't give me a key to her room. No, I don't think that was the reason, but I think that's what led you to do that. What? Firstly, let's do a simple narrowing down of our suspects. For someone to access the secret room, they have to either go through Lady Quintessence's room or the passage under the roof, for which they would have to climb the elevator's framework, knowing that it was there in the first place to begin with. We've discussed how it doesn't quite make sense for either Lady Quintessence or Serviceman to have killed Pumpkin, and with both of them having each of the only keys to Lady Quintessence's room. We can cross out the possibility of an entrance there to be the entry point, leaving only the passage from an elevator. While we might suspect Bobby to have known about the secret room, his age wouldn't allow him to climb all the way up and jump 2 meters down. Earlier we said it was 3. Either of the double troubles would be too suspicious for her to decide not only to follow, but also to turn her back on them. And finally... Oh, and what about you? How can I trust that a paranormal being who can traverse shadows, who disregards the laws, not to just come up with a charade of a murder mystery for their own entertainment? You used to visit this hotel since childhood, right? What? You said so yourself. A kid stuck in a hotel whose main point is to relax and escape the troubles that wait outside. Doesn't seem like there's much to do, is it? Would it be so out there to propose that you had more than enough time and curiosity as to just climb the framing of the elevator, finding the secret room back then? And what? You want to say that you would jump 2 meters down the one-way hole, not even getting a sprained ankle? What? That's how you got it, all the way back in the day, isn't it? That's nothing more than a speculation. And yet there are even more things pointing toward you. So what? You think I just crawled into the secret room and then invited Pumpkin to go with me into Lady Quintessence's room, where I just stabbed her because of what? Getting mad at her for not sharing a room with me? Something like that. That's absurd. No, you're just making it sound like that because we don't know the motive behind it yet. What possible motive could there for me to be to do something like that? I wonder that myself. I find your logic contradictory. We know that the knife in Pumpkin's body was the one that LQ and Servicemen prepared to murder Mr. Double Trouble. So because the murder weapon wasn't prepared in advance, if we still go to that line of thinking, then either LQ or Serviceman would be a reasonable candidate. Then it would mean that the murder wasn't premeditated. Or at least not until the murderer stumbled onto the weapon. I don't think that Julia would just sneak into a secret room for who even knows what reason, find a knife, and be like, "Hey love, come here, look at this cool painting," and stab her in the back. Exactly. That is, unless there was something that changed her initial reasoning for sneaking into the secret room. What are you talking about? Once someone drops from the roof entrance into the secret room, they can exit into the hallway only through either Pumpkin's or my room's door. So what would happen if both rooms had someone in them? She would have to wait for one to leave. And while she waited, she would be able to listen to either one of us, specifically onto me and Serviceman. What is that supposed to mean? The two of us had a little chat. While I cannot confirm exactly what we talked about, I think some of you know where this is going. You were scheming my murder. Darling, I think you forgot to add allegedly right there. It would be awkward to chat without that little addition. And what? Instead of telling everyone about it, she just killed Pumpkin? Where's the logic in any of this? I mean, I think I see what she's trying to say. Let's go into this thinking that Miss Crescent Moon wanted Pumpkin dead, but not wanting to kill her. What in the world are you talking about? What is this? You cannot find reasoning, and instead you're making it up. My girlfriend is dead, and you will accuse me of killing her with nothing but baseless theories? I think you'd prefer to stay quiet now, so that your silence during our conversation about your poisoning won't incriminate you even more. What are you talking about? Oh, don't worry. We'll get to that. Bobby, continue. Your comment regarding the story of Pumpkin nearly jumping off the cliff a couple years back rubbed me the wrong way. You knew about Pumpkin's experience with this hotel. At best, it's just negligence, but at worst, can we really be sure that part of the reason as to why you took an invitation was the hopes that the experience was to repeat? How can you say something so heartless as that? If that was case, could it be that when Pumpkin left the party room, you, without having a key, decided to check on her room through the secret passage, which made you stumble onto the knife? And money. Having Lady Quintessence come to the room soon after, talking with Serviceman about the planned murder of my husband. Overhearing the fact that if there was any suspicion of foul play, that she, Pumpkin, Cephio, who at that time was believed to be Black Sword, or a shade, would be the first ones the police would have their eyes on. Of course, that could have easily been prevented with a simple accusation, but that might have negatively affected your reputation if you weren't able to prove it. Isn't that right? You deplorable! Take your words back! I don't think that the reason would be something as insignificant as reputation. You're only saying this because you don't know her well enough. If we're going to go with that theory that she wanted Pumpkin to die, but not necessarily murder her, then stumbling on a murder scheme in the process would be the second best thing to her, outside of a scenario where Pumpkin would successfully get away with what she attempted a couple years ago. When the investigation would start, the police would start with the most obvious leads. A murder being committed in Lady Quintessence's room, body hidden under her window, murder weapon being prepared by Serviceman and LQ, stash with stolen valuable stuff hidden somewhere. Serviceman would be the first suspect, and any other loose thread left from the setup unplanned murder of Mr. Double Trouble. So she took the opportunity that presented itself to her. No, I wouldn't do something like that. Why are you trying to set me up for something I didn't do? Guessing it's time to move on to the poisoning. What about it? You already know that Julia added different doses of Nightmares Elysium to our beverages after we found the body, suspecting either Mr. Double Trouble or Lady Quintessence. Being right when it comes to the latter, that's the thing. We moved on from it so fast that we didn't look to the details, meaning the timing of it all. The given reason for why Crescent Moon did so was her reaction to Pumpkin's death, which makes you think, when would she even have an opportunity to do that? What? That's true. After finding the body, all of us were in a single group, with you being the center of attention, as you were the one who had the closest relationship with Pumpkin. No way could you have poisoned anyone's drinks then. Then everyone except me left the party room. If anyone came along, I would have noticed them, especially with the elevator sound. Me and my husband spent the rest of our free time before our first discussion in our chambers, where it would be impossible for anyone to sneak in unnoticed. And yet, you were still drinking from the same cup as you did before, during the entirety of that conversation. Julia, when did you poison them? Okay, maybe my justification for poisoning wasn't genuine. I intended to poison Mr. Romero from the very beginning of this evening. Pumpkin's surprising death was the excuse I gave when being found out. What are you talking about? After our first meeting here, I slipped some of the ground Nightheart's Elysium into a cup that I thought Serviceman would serve to double trouble, which ended up going toward Lady Quintessence, my second attempt ending up in Mrs. Romero's hands. When would you even poison the others with regular petals, then? Slightly before the discovery of Pumpkin's body. While not everyone has returned yet, I dropped some of the petals in all the drinks. So what? You just decided to poison someone for no good reason. When did you even have the time to grind the flower into dust? I did it before arriving at the hotel. Yeah, that's right. Where did you get the flowers needed for that, then? Only resorts and hotels such as mine have license to use it. I've been here before, haven't I? Julia, do you hear yourself? So you want to say the last time you went to this hotel a couple of years ago, you took some Nightheart's Elysium, ground it into dust, saved it until this night, came to this hotel with your girlfriend, who had a suicidal episode the last time she was here, poisoned Lady Quintessence and Mrs. Romero while attempting to do it to Mr. Romero, in the only possible time frame when you would be able to do that, spent most of your night away from your girlfriend, who didn't feel like even giving you a key to her room, with her later being found dead, with circumstances where you're one of the most likely suspects. When we look past a literal planned murder that anyone who knew about the secret room could have used to cover, most likely leads toward themselves. And oh, wouldn't you know, there are reasons to believe that you did know about that room. What a surprise. Sefio, you've known me for years. Do you really think I would do something like that? I don't know. I never would imagine that you'd poisoned anyone. And even in the best case scenario, it's something that you have undeniably done. How are you? I don't know. I thought that the way I feel right now would change when the police would take her away, but it didn't. She killed my best friend. Her fiancé. I lied to protect her when I realized that she poisoned Lady Q and Mrs. Double Trouble, although I'm not even taking a minute to think about the implications behind what she did. I was a fool. I wish our first meeting would have transpired under better circumstances. If you need an emotional scapegoat to vent your frustrations, I wouldn't mind if it was me. No, had you not involved yourself in this, I would have most likely lived the rest of my life, unbeknownst to the truth. You've helped me more than enough. If anything, I'm the one at fault for everything that's gone down tonight. Had I not introduced them to each other, Pumpkin would still be with us. You can't let yourself get stuck in the trappings of that kind of thinking. Quoting advice from an idiot. Just... Hey, sorry for interrupting, but we were on our way home. You arrived here with Pumpkin and Crescent Moon, didn't you? We can give you a lift back to the city, if you don't mind. Right. Thanks. Excuse my self-pitying for what it's worth. Meeting you has been the best part of this night. Here. That's my number. Hope that we'll cross paths under better circumstances once more. I couldn't sleep. That's understandable. Have enough room for one more on that sofa of yours. Sure. Close your eyes. I don't want to sleep. Just for a few seconds. Fine. That's the end. We figured it out. Epilogue? So you're the fabled Julia that Seth was telling me about. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Are you feeling alright? Yeah, just tired. Last couple of months, it's been my baseline state of existence. Oh, if you want, we can move this meeting for later. Kind of late for that, isn't it? Yeah, somewhat. Listen, I know Sophia told you I was looking for a barista, but I kind of found one already by the point they arranged this meetup. Oh, I'm fine with that. Seth was saying that the job part would be a good excuse to get to know someone new. Well, if that's so, then it's good to get to know you. Bethany, right? Beth works. Beth. Well then, would you like a drink? I don't think I've ever been to such a festive party before. Please don't mind the audience. The only reason I even go to these is because my financial advisor says it would be better to have the local hierarchy at least know about my existence. Well, if you're interested, maybe we can give them a show in the form of a little dance. I would be glad to, but I actually don't know how to dance. Oh, yeah, actually, neither do I. I don't know why I even said that. Please forget that. They do karaoke, though. See the looks on their faces? That was amazing. Julia? Yeah? Why are you back? One of the perpetrators of the Tranquility Hotel murders has gone missing following a baffling not guilty verdict. What is this? So she made her way out of her own mess. How wonderful. Could have sent me a letter instead. Thought, oh right, you like to see the reaction of your audience, don't you? Well, I won't give you the pleasure of witnessing my sour mug. This is from over a week ago. Since the article came out, journalists were able to dig up some strange voice calls she made after her disappearance to a few of her associates. She sounded bizarre. Seems like she's been traveling all over the place for some reason. At first I thought she was just trying to escape the house arrest that was a condition for her not guilty verdict. But now I'm not so sure. Hey! No. No. Leave it. Hard to say what really happened. So what does that have to do with me? Anything strange happened to you following that night? Was that all? Did you really come here? I wanted to talk. Stop. Stop. Why are you growling? There's no reason for this. Toro, no. Leave it. I know things between us haven't been the same since, but I can't just sit by without hearing you out. I don't know what you expect to hear from me. You heard the jury. Nothing that I do from now on will change that. Chin up, back straight, look at me. You haven't done what they think you did. And if they made you believe you actually did it, then those who are dead by your hand deserved what was coming to them. You're my daughter. Nothing will change that. Oh, whose daughter are you? Nothing will change the fact that I love you. Please just don't. We've talked about this. I cannot give you what you're looking for. Whatever this thing that we have right now is working. Why change anything? You've been the most stable part of my life ever since Grandma's passing. I don't want to rock the boat while the waters seem so deep. I thought by this point things would be different, but of course, why would they? I don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I want to talk to the Julia I used to know. And when I speak with you, all I see is a stranger. Just talk to me. I don't want to give up on you, but the more we talk, the harder it is for me to carry the same sentiment. Just tell me why. I didn't think she loved me. Did you love her? It's complicated. Yes. Or at least I did at first. But it's been so long since I told her how I feel that I can't even be sure what love is anymore. Our relationship was complicated. Why didn't you just break up with her? I tried, but things had gotten out of hand way too quickly by then. Please, just give me one more chance. A chance for what? Making whatever we have going on work? Beth, all I need is an answer to a simple question. Do you love me or do you not? It's just as I thought. When did that happen? Prior to the winter solstice 2 years ago? And yet both of you looked rather happy that day. As I've said, things became more complicated than I ever wanted them to be. When even the brightest moon will fade in the shadow, hun. Oh, cut the crap. So you just played it all for the public? I was part of it, yes. The formation of our relationship was seen by so many eyes. Eyes of those whose words alone would give me the ability to go further than I ever could have on my own. Throughout all my youth, I would uphold the romanticized ideals of independence that you bestowed upon me. Yet when I was thrust into the real world, nearly all my attempts would be all but futile. And then I was contacted by the Black Sword. And once in my life, just once, I was able to make something of myself. I wouldn't be where I was without the help of others. I wouldn't be where I am had I not yearned for the help of others. Well, let's look at the bright side. Now when we're no longer together and it's all just an act, like we got back to the early stage of our relationship. Just two gals enjoying each other's company. Wouldn't that be nice? And that was nearly 2 years ago. Quite a long charade to be played. And all for what? To make your way among some snobby aristocrats? To make my way among some snobby aristocrats. So nice to have a good place in our town that hasn't been touched by the Romero's greedy hands. They have so much capital, and yet they can't even add any good choices to their menu. Work under them isn't much better. My girlfriend's been constantly complaining about how suffocating of a work environment they have for years. Your partner works for them? How come? Oh, well, I'm a relatively small business owner. When she was looking for a job, I didn't have any opportunities for her. For years by now? Well, you see, please keep this just between us. But I'm preparing to deploy her right before this autumn. Oh, well, they're lost to let someone like your partner slip away from their grasp. What a wonderful timing to have their wounds last so much longer in such a busy season. Will you let her do one of those adorable drawings on top of the coffee with the hearts and the little faces in them? No dish is truly good without those. Romeros are so stingy, they don't see how much the little stuff like that matter for the proper, energizing experience. Beth knows how to do that. My humble little cafe will run well enough with her behind the counter. What? You want me to come work for you after all this time? Why? You said yourself you hate to work under the Romeros, didn't you? Thank you, really, really thank you. I thought that after all we've been through, you'd want to keep me a far distance away from you. I wasn't the one who was afraid of getting close when it mattered most. Now I just want to salvage as much happiness as control I have over my life as I can have. After all this, I just want to be happy. I just want to be free. I just want for it all to end. Knock, knock. Hey, Jules, I could really use someone to talk to right now. Are you even there? What in the... Okay, what's this all about? We should cancel tonight's plan. Are you out of your mind? The Black Sword and a Shade? The cops will eat them up as suspects. Do deed, point fingers. The police will finish the paperwork. We don't need suspects. The whole point and the reason I agreed to do this is that it would look like an accident. There's some guy who decided to go out for a night smoking, slipping, and falling to the death on shark spikes at the very bottom of the ravine. Once they start thinking of foul play, they could get on to us. Not if we'll be careful. Regardless, it's too late to back out now. You got your first part of the payment, and when you'll stop with this whining, you can take the second alongside the knife to do the deed. Try to pull a fast one on me, and you know what'll happen. Do we have it clear? Yes, Miss Quintessence. Then go enjoy the party. I'll join you soon after. No one. Wait, that's Pumpkin. She's going in her room. Should I just leave and pretend I haven't seen anything? Just leave. Leave. Why won't you leave? Just... Hey. Jules? What are you doing here? Wait, is that... Thought you'd be interested to see this. Wow. How long did you know about it? For a while, but our last visit didn't give me much opportunity to bring it up. Right. So do you want to see the best this hotel has to offer while there's no one here? Not gonna lie, I expected something more luxurious than this. Can at least open the windows in this one. It's quite a good view. Quite a good view. Listen, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. Jules, will you? Wait, this shows her taking it from here. Oh, right, because she poisoned everyone else later. Oh, serviceman, bring us more coffee. So, how's your evening going so far? Oh, I don't know. There wasn't much to do ever since most of the other guests have gone away. You? You know, finding my ways to paint away the monotony of the days. And how's Bethany? I haven't seen her since she left the party. Seems like she's gone to sleep or just isn't answering my knocks. Party might have quieted down, but it isn't over yet. Who knows? Maybe she'll join us after all. Maybe. Been a while since the two of us were in the same room overnight. Strange to say, but it seems like the most intimate the two of us have been since the early days of our relationship. I missed it. I know you might be a bit disappointed in the whole killing you thing, but I won't lie. I was glad to finally be done with it all. After all you've put me through. Didn't I deserve the satisfaction of putting a blade through your heart? Missed the mark somewhat there. It's hard to go into stuff blindly, but that's nothing new for either one of us. So please, just leave. Leave me already. I beg you. Following a bizarre number of appearances all over the world, Helen Q, the alleged perpetrator of the Tranquility Hotel murders, was found dead on top of an abandoned building's closed-off roof. The cause of death was dehydration. Following the death of major owner Quintas Hotels had been bought out by Romero, Inc. Ooh. That was cool. Okay, I liked it. The end of that was really good. This is a really, really long episode, but I couldn't stop when we got to the good part. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here in the castle. Once again, my name is Mandy Lee. If you'd like to give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, whatever the free thing is, wherever you're hanging out with us, you can click all the links below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.